Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back to the Venusian Light Tarot. So today we are going to be doing a collective energy reading, and this reading is going to be for whoever it's for. So if you feel drawn to the title or the thumbnail, then this reading could be for you, but just take what's going to resonate. I trust that Spirit will guide you to this reading if it's right for you. So if you feel confused though, then this is probably not your message, but let's just set that intention that this reading will be for whoever most needs to hear it. So go with your intuition. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what comes up. We're going to leave this completely open to Spirit and just see what comes through. If there will be an extended reading, it will be linked down below in the description box. And if you would like to book a private reading, I have those details down below as well in the description box. So let's see, Spirit, what would you like to talk about today? Let's leave this open here. What would you like to talk about for the viewers of this reading? I trust here that these messages will come through clearly and accurately for anybody that most needs to hear it. I just heard something like everything you touch turns to gold, or this is a time maybe where everything that you're going to touch can turn to gold. There's a very high vibration coming through. I'm almost hearing Spirit say something. Yeah, you've stepped into a higher vibration where a lot of the things that you're going to touch moving forward is going to be much more successful. But there's something quite literally, and it's interesting too. I always like to connect the cards that I shuffle. We have the octopus here at the bottom, and I am getting a very watery, almost like sea creature type of feeling with that Page of Cups. So for some of you, you have really aligned and stepped into a very high vibration within yourself, and it's coming up in a bit more of a way to where this is quite literally your vibration that you are emanating from yourself and what you've established within yourself on this frequency level. So I do think that this is something that someone needs to hear, that you've really raised a lot of, it's almost like you've upgraded your cells, kind of is what it's coming through as, it's like you have been able to evolve somehow. And so this can really affect, of course, our day-to-day life. It can be the experiences that you're surrounded with, the interactions with the people that you're having, the opportunities which you are presented with are much more of a higher frequency of those experiences, which can be more joy into them. It can be more of a joyful feeling of you, just flowing more from that high vibration. So yeah, if this reading found you, I think that you have stepped into this, and this is something coming through where they're pointing that with the octopus reference and the Three of Swords, when we do go through a shift like this, it can be kind of uncomfortable because of course, the old part of us is dying away. And it also can cause a ripple effect outwardly to where those situations which kind of don't really align to you can also begin to fall away. So they want someone to know here, if this reading is for you, is that you may be really rearranging or called to rearrange a lot of your ideals around relationships. What are you attached to with these tentacles of the octopus here? It feels like you have really detached from many things in your life. You've detached maybe from situations in a way to where not just your physical human form has done so, but there has been a complete detachment on a more cellular level here. But let's get the cards out and see what more comes up. So that could be a side note, or that could be what the message is about. Let's see, Spirit. But yeah, there's a very watery feeling in this reading. Two of Cups is here too. For some of you though, I do want to say this may be that there's a certain connection, relationship, which is a meeting here with these two people shaking hands. And there's something about it which feels like, with that same high vibrational reference, it's almost like there is a meeting of two souls in a very high frequency that is incoming, or that you are being led to right now. So with this octopus, again, I keep being drawn to, you know, some of these tentacles of the octopus have detached from even other connections. For some of you, this could be like a relationship message. For some, not for everybody, but maybe there's been certain connections which no longer fit or align with the frequency that you have leveled up to. So there's someone special kind of incoming for you. Maybe you're connecting on a deeper level to your partner if you already have a partner. And there's something about the match of two souls here with this handshake. So, okay, but let's get the cards out. Tell us a little bit more, Spirit. What would you like to talk about for this message today? What is the main message that you would like to bring through today? What is the main message you would like to bring through? We have the Ten of Pentacles. I just saw 555 on the timer. The Eight of Wands. The Four of Pentacles. And this Eight of Cups kind of snuck out here. Yeah, I feel like Spirit really wants somebody to know that with this Eight of Cups here, we have two eights. One is like you're moving forward to something, and the Eight of Cups over here is more of the situations emotionally that you've left behind with these 8 cups. And with the Four of Pentacles to come out too, I do think that a lot of you are being moved up here to something which is much better suited for you than whatever these octopus kind of tentacles were attached to. And for most of you, it seems to be involving the kind of frequency shift that's coming through. This is almost coming up as like a byproduct or result of the changes that have led up to this moment. So with the eclipse that came up as well, and before that for the last several months, there's been this feeling of this shift that a lot of you have been moving through. This feels like kind of the culmination of it and the kind of ending of it, sort of in a way, to where the aftermath of this has really settled in, or is about to really settle in to with the Ten of Pentacles here, seems to be that you are settling into kind of a new phase of your life, which is not just a little thing. Like, this is a very big thing. And I think that a lot of you are called at this time, which most of you have already done this. You know, again, this feels like a continuation of the readings that I do collectively. But this one feels like we've kind of, with the bat is beneath the octopus, it feels like most of this work has already been done. Like the heavy lifting or the heavy work has been done. So there's this now, after that, you can feel lighter, and you have been feeling lighter for whoever this is for. And so with the octopus, it's like there is, there's almost like an ushering in now of all of the energy that has been stagnant during this time of transformation with the bat here, that is now flooding in to allow for the experiences to actually solidify in your reality, if that makes sense. So yeah, on a more simple level though, I do think that with this Ten of Pentacles coming up here and the Eight of Wands, a lot of you, they're showing me like a tree that the fruits are ripe and we've plucked them off of the tree. And I think that some of you may be still attached though to some old way of being, which you're not really attached to anymore. It's a false sense of attachment. So it may be like a relationship, it could be a certain identity of yourself that you actually are no longer even resonating on that timeline, but you may be revisiting it for purposes of like familiarity. It's really not even resonant anymore for you. And they're kind of, that's where they're comparing these two eights, the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Cups, because you've actually already outgrown those things, but maybe there's still a part of you which is attached to them, or still feels like there's this old part of you which is in that rebirth process, or already has moved through that, but there could be a tendency to still hold on, or to be in a bit of an awkward phase between asking yourself what it is that you're really ready to release and what are you ready to receive. And so maybe a bit of a transitional period with that, but a lot of you are really being called at this time to float like water, really be in a state of receptivity and to let things go that are no longer serving you and just really relax into that. Something with this Eight of Cups, whoever needs to hear this, again, I don't know if you're like clutching on to something or if it's that you just feel maybe a fear of letting go, of surrendering, but they want to give somebody a message that it's safe at this point to really let go. It's safe to surrender, even if you can't explain or know everything, you know, why certain things have been let go of or why you've been forced to go through these huge changes with this card here, the way that he's looking up at the moon. And it just gives me an impression of like such a spiritually enlightening experience that a lot of us have gone through. And so we have nothing left to do at this point other than to surrender to it. And our human egos may want to go back or to hold on or to be in fear about these big changes, but it's actually something which is going to be a huge up-leveling experience. And so I do think that this is a message for somebody who needs to hear that, to kind of like surrender right now, let go. And some of you may feel a bit of this uncomfortable feeling that has been going on for a while. Depending on where you are, you're either completing it entirely or you are still in the process a little bit maybe of feeling again like you are moving through such a big shift on a cellular level here, where with these kind of colors at the top of the octopus's head, it gives me a feeling of like the chakra system of like this almost like Kundalini energy, which personally I've been feeling as well. So some of you may be going through like this, again, feeling of shifting into a different frequency that is taking a bit of time for you to like understand it or to act accordingly, sort of feeling. So yeah, let's see a little bit more, Spirit. What would you like to talk about for this message? What else needs to come up here for this? And I feel like a lot of you, it's almost like an invisible string that is pulling you at this point. So you may start to feel this pulling sensation towards, could be a certain direction, or it could just be that you're being pulled at a level that is again, can be uncomfortable because we're pulled out of the cave sort of, or we are being pulled from this bat energy of like the darkness here. So it can really pull up like and dredge up a lot of parts of ourselves to be seen outwardly into the open. And that can be uncomfortable sometimes. But as a side note here, Spirit's coming in. I don't know if this will come up later maybe, but I'm hearing some of you, there is maybe going to be a lot of information coming your way in the form of some, you know, maybe messages from somebody or some kind of information which is going to reach you. And that could be a part of what it is that you're getting ready to kind of absorb here with these, again, tentacles of the octopus. We have the Nine of Swords here. What else does the viewer need to hear, please, Spirit? The Moon. I'm hearing this song, and I kept hearing it before I started the reading, but I wasn't sure where Spirit was going with it. It's the song by Maroon 5, I think, Getting Harder and Harder to Breathe, which is interesting now with the Moon and the Nine of Swords. Okay, this could be two things. This could be, and we'll get more information as we go, this could be for some of you, this is you, and it may go together with what I've been saying with this whole feeling of the octopus. Maybe some of you are feeling a bit uncomfortable. Maybe there's certain things which are stifling you at this point, and it could be certain patterns of the self. It could be certain physical things like a person, a home environment, a job, something which is becoming harder and harder for you to cope with, harder and harder for you to breathe in that. It's been feeling almost very restrictive, and we have to shake out of that. And this is an invitation here to say again that it's really time to let that go now with the Eight of Cups. You are safe to walk away. So that could be a very straightforward message for somebody. Like, let's say, for example, if you are in a very unhappy relationship, or there's something that, you know, you've been kind of living in that relationship because you feel like you have to, but every day that passes, it's getting harder to be in that, and you feel physically even sick maybe. This is the time where it's really truly time to walk away from that. You can trust that when you do walk away from it, there's going to be something much better that's going to enter your life. So it's just fear at this point. It's only fear that you're staying stuck in something, which is just, it's just coming from fear. And that can apply to anything. It could be a certain way that you are moving about in the world. Maybe you feel with this Four of Pentacles that like it's a certain fear that you've always had about expressing yourself, and it's getting to the point where every time you start to feel it, it just feels so restrictive, and it's almost like you can more easily identify the feeling now because you've tapped much deeper into yourself, so you're able to see and to feel where that tension's coming from. And that could even be in your physical body for some of you. And so same scenario, it's safe to relax now. It's really safe to let that go now with the Eight of Cups. It's something that you've outgrown, and you've kind of just, you've become much more sensitive to energy though for a lot of you. So this can be where it's both like a blessing and a curse, because on one end of the spectrum, if this reading is for you, you may be much more tapped into spirit right now, or you may have found even like a huge increase in your gifts, maybe spiritually, or something has happened here to where you can go much deeper into self, and you can go much deeper into your own like subconscious. You can go much deeper into your gifts. Maybe some of you have been going through a lot of inner work, maybe even like, I don't know, psychedelic things or something, to where you've been able to see beyond the veil in many ways. And that can be both a beautiful thing to experience, but also a bit of a uncomfortable thing to experience. We have the Star here and the Ace of Cups. And with this lotus flower, there's something with that I'm being told is important. Something about the lotus flower. There's an unfoldment of the self here, and there's a beautiful unfolding of a lot of dormant things that have been within you, which have been a combination of traits of yourself, of things that weren't kind of ready for you to see them or to appreciate them. Maybe you were at a point, again, this feels like even something that has been, I don't know, once again, it's been restrictive. So maybe it's a facet of your personality, or it's something that you were too afraid to experience, or it's something which it can no longer be contained. It has to be let out. And that really can be a few things. The other message I was getting is that for some of you, this could be about a person maybe, or somebody around you. So possibly it could be about that, maybe somebody else, or just collectively. This is what the collective's moving through. So you may find that like somebody close to you is moving through this, that they are also in a position where they are crippled by their fears at this point, which are like they need to be released. The true self has to kind of come out here with this Ace of Cups. So this may be a time just collectively where a lot of people are deciding to walk away from things. A lot of people are deciding that it's time to cut the attachment to things that have only been a false sense of security, basically. And this is because I'm hearing Spirit say with the eclipse and everything too, we have been confronted with like the depths, with the bat spirit that came up here. You know, we've been confronted with the shadow aspect of self, which is very difficult to go through for a lot of people. If we avoid it, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's something that there's been an invitation, and if you have passed the test, I'm also hearing, then this would be for you too, because you have passed the test with this Eight of Cups. You're ready now for this initiation. But the test here is not always easy, because we do have to really go deep into self. And so somebody here, a lot of you, or even other people around you, may have really recently had to confront a lot of maybe even very dark truths about the self, or even about the environment. And I'm even getting it could be in alignment sort of with the moon here in the Four of Pentacles to what have I been believing about myself, which has come from maybe childhood, for example, or what have I been trapped in that is a fear-based response. So there's just a sense of like, there's just a sense of this sensitivity, you know, coming through. But let's see a little bit more. When I shuffled this other deck, we have your dreams need a practical plan at the bottom. Full moon in Taurus. And this is on a more practical level. Some of you, this is what this is saying too with the Eight of Cups. Like maybe some of you are at the point again where like you can no longer run from what you're feeling, and you can no longer hide from the truth of yourself. That, let's say that you want to start your dream project, or you want to do something here this is the same thing. It's like it's time to surrender fully to it, but you also need to have a practical plan to get there with the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. So if there's any lingering fear within you, it's like kind of now's the time to look into that. And yeah, we have here, work through your fears. So here's another Scorpion. Oh, that's not a Scorpion, but a lot of sea creatures are definitely coming up, which is what I was saying earlier. So this definitely could be a lot here. A lot of Scorpios, Cancer, Pisces may be watching this reading, but of course you don't have to be. It could just be, I don't know, something coming through. But work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. Yeah, there's a lot of fears here, and I can actually feel a tingle as I said that in like the sacral and the solar plexus. It almost felt like a sense of nausea almost. So there could be something where, and I've actually been feeling this myself with something involving another person. And I do think that that's why I'm mentioning it too, because Spirit wants to mention that you may feel this with another person too, or there may be something to where another person is also feeling this, you know, so maybe it's about a relationship or it's something like that. And there's a lot of triggers in that area coming up to where it's almost, we have to purge it, like, and it almost feels like an urge to like cry or to scream or to get something out. And so it feels like somehow we're being invited to do that. Others of you may have already done that though, or completed that, but let's see. But yeah, for most of you, I'm hearing the work has been done. Yeah, step out of your comfort zone. I'm hearing the worst is over for a lot of you. So it's almost like the aftermath, as I think I mentioned that word earlier too, the aftermath of something. So the aftermath of like a shakeup, or even if we go through like a damaging storm and it's very catastrophic how everything was torn down or shaken up. At the same time though, we're given the opportunity to rebuild it in a different way. And that's kind of the way I'm being shown it. So this could be that, again, with the North Node, some of you are being called to really step towards your true purpose, step towards your true fulfillment, and also to just quite literally step out of your comfort zone with many things. It could be in the way that you approach your partner. It could be in the way that you approach just relationships. How are you showing up with the version of yourself that you want, or that could lead you to the highest vibrational possible? Because they're drawing this lotus flower to what I said in the beginning with the lotus, or with the vibration. There's something about, they keep wanting to talk about high vibration, and how, of course, you know, with the fear is a very low vibration, and this kind of stuck sensation and fears is causing somebody to be bogged down. It's causing you, if this is you, to maybe not entirely, because it feels like you've done a lot of work already, but there could be parts of this octopus tentacle that are still attached and they're kind of weighing you down, where you only have a few more to cut, kind of, or you only have a few more threads to work through. And so it's really time to just look up kind of and just fearlessly move towards your, that candle blew out, I have to refill it, but fearlessly move towards this Ace of Cups here, like something which is pure from the heart, a pure vibration. I'm getting such a heart chakra feeling with this too. Like what feels right in the heart is completely different than what feels right, or what is a construct of beliefs or conditioning, or coming directly from fear, you know? Okay, so let's see a little bit more here. So Spirit, what else would you like to say here for this message today, please, for whoever this is for? What would you like to bring through? And some of you here, this is not for everybody, but there's maybe something that has been urgently getting your attention over and over, but you've kind of ignored it. This is something, it could be like a health issue that's just for somebody, or it could be something that is just like, it's been nagging at you to look at it, or to address it, or to cut it off, and maybe you just distract yourself and say that you're too busy to look at it now. But I feel like this is actually the time where like we need to look at it. So not to ignore it anymore, or like it's an overall sense, again, in the collective, where none of us or nobody can really ignore anymore like what it is that we are feeling on many levels. And so it's a sense of kind of, this is the time to finalize and to address those things. A fiery climax approaches. Yeah, so this feels like there's some fiery ending. Again, like I said in the beginning, I think, of the reading, there was like a culmination of everything that we've been through in the last maybe like 5 months or so. It feels like maybe 4 months, but definitely from the beginning of this year and coming in now, there's a feeling of everything that has been processed is coming to a head, kind of, you know. So there even is something, for some of you, it's in your physical body, I keep getting. So maybe you've been experiencing a lot of sensations of freeing up tension in your body, or going through certain practices that can connect with your body. And it's like you're releasing a lot, even toxins I'm getting, or something in the physical body. But it can go hand in hand with everything that has been holding us back. There's a fiery climax with everything that is holding us back. And we have luck is on your side beneath that. And then we have the energy is gaining momentum, and you and your loved ones are safe. Yeah, so this is gaining momentum. Again, for some of you, there is something very tender here of the heart, or the emotions, with the Cancer, the Scorpio, here with the moon too. This might be something very personal for a lot of you. I don't know if it's maybe something that you're concerned about your family or your emotions, or something very personal for you. You know, maybe like you need to know that right now, that you and your loved ones are safe. Whatever you choose to, what path you choose to go in the direction of now, like it's going to be okay. You're going to be safe, and the people that you love are going to be safe. There's something with that. So I don't know, that's for somebody. I feel like it's maybe that you need to be reassured, or given like given some kind of not motivation, but comfort, that it's again something with like it's safe to go, it's safe to walk away, it's safe to move into this new direction, because somehow it's going to be emotionally satisfying for you. And this could even be for others of you like a very personal issue in terms of self. Like maybe it's some, I don't know, a very deep secret that you've kept within yourself, or it's a facet of yourself that you have not shown to the world. And there's a sense of kind of moving into this next chapter of your life, maybe even in July. You can feel safe here, that you're seen, that you're loved, that you are heard and acknowledged, you know, something like that. Maybe this has been a very deep shadow and fear for some of you that has come from wounds and traumas. And it's like there's a soothing effect with that, that like, yeah, you're coming to life. See, so this is time to come to life for whoever this is for. It's such a beautiful feeling of like everything is coming back to life. It's again, this feels like a sad, because we have the sorrow card here at the bottom. Something has been kind of sad. Yeah, look at that. Nothingness, kind of like the eclipse. It was a complete blackout. So there's been like a sad realization or a sorrow here, which is always difficult and painful to go through. But at the same time, we have to experience those deep emotions to transcend upward on the scale, like the emotional scale. And since I'm getting a lot of like of that feeling in the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, this could be a lot of wounds and traumas in that area, or difficult situations that whoever this is for, that you've been through recently, or something that you've had to process on that emotional level. And I just think that, yeah, like it's a kind of a bittersweet feeling, I would say. It's a bittersweet feeling. However, this is going to resonate with you, where maybe you had to experience nothingness, or you had to experience the end of something, or you had to experience even complete rock bottom or darkness of the self in order to come back alive after this rebirth. I'm hearing you are remembering. So some of you here could be remembering like who you are at a soul level. You know, again, this could be a lot of people too going through this, even aside from just you, people you know and things like that. Like with this Eight of Cups and the way he's looking up at the moon, there's something of like a deep remembering of what life is about or who we are at a soul level. And this feels like something with this, you and your loved ones are safe. Like, how to put it? Let me get a few more of these. What else, Spirit, please, for this reading do you want to say here? Yeah, look at that. Rock bottom. Bone collector. Yeah, in some kind of way, there's been a rock bottom. And I'm being drawn to how there's a maze or like this road at the top and also at the bottom. Look, they're mirroring each other. So for some of you, this is, I don't know, like on all sides, there was nothing, or on all sides, everything came to an end, or I don't know, it's going to be different for a lot of you, but however this resonates with you to where you've hit this rock bottom, or you've seen the darkness, you've been able to see that something was an illusion even, I'm hearing for some of you, or you've been able to see the bottoms of yourself. You've been able to go maybe to the depths of where something originated from, or like maybe even processing a very deep sadness or a very deep sorrow or loss, something that maybe you avoided for a while, or something that in order to kind of be in this bone collector energy, the number 1 too, we have to experience the darkness of that with the bat. But yeah, this is, for most of you, this is already past. So this is already what you already know and what you felt. And I think what Spirit wants to focus on now is this here, the bone collector, and where things are now moving up and forward. And I think that a lot of you need to have encouragement right now as well, that luck is on your side. It feels like a time here with that arrow, like it is time to shoot the arrow. This is a really prime time I'm getting for like projects to be started. It's a really prime time for just like a whole new identity to form in a way to where the actions that new version of you would be taking is time to do that now. So maybe you want to, again, start something or to get something off the ground that it's not going to be the same this time around. Like you're not going to go back to the rock bottom or the nothingness. For some of you, I'm hearing this may have been also a tendency to people please or to be there for everybody else other than yourself. And so this could be also with the mind here and the sad embrace. It can be very, very hurtful and painful to see that maybe we have sacrificed ourselves to other people, or we've given parts of ourselves up. And there's been this battle of the mind here. There's been many things that we've had to process, which again, I keep getting it's been very painful, or it's just been very uncomfortable. Like for most of this is like especially the last month or so I'm getting with all of these, again, eclipse energies are coming up here too with this blackout. It hasn't been easy to look at all of this, but the bright side of it is that you have seen it. Like you're no longer in the dark about it. And that's kind of where the healing begins, when we accept things. Yeah. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you want to add to this reading today, that you want to say? For somebody specific, I'm hearing it's time to get back into exercise. So if you stopped exercising, or if you kind of lost maybe yourself and your healthy habits in life, I'm hearing Spirit say that it's time to get back into the routines that make you feel really good. So maybe eating healthy, exercise, whatever makes you feel good. It's almost like, it's actually a very emotional feeling. Again, I'm getting a very emotional energy with this. Yeah. With the Cancer here and the celebration, the cups, the octopus, the sea creatures. It's something where this is all about your emotions. You know, it's about like an emotional release, which also feels like you're able to feel joy again too. I don't know if maybe some of you have been living very numb, and there's a sense of like you've kind of found why that has been. Why have I been living numbly? Why have I been numb to maybe experiences in life, or being open to celebration or connections, love, emotion, self-love? And maybe you've had to process the meaning of that. Like, where did it come from? Or what did I have to end to find my happiness? And so there's that bittersweet feeling that, yes, it's painful to end those things and to go back into the darkness of what we experienced. But at the same time, it gives us such an emotional release of being happy. I'm getting like a genuine sense of happiness here. So if you haven't felt this yet, this could be coming in the next few months or so, of a celebration of happiness. So being receptive. And I was getting this in the beginning about the cells too. Something, I don't know if YouTube's going to block that card, so I'll just put it like this, but there's been something that you've been receptive to receiving. And there's a feeling of integrating this on a very deep cellular level. I don't know why I can never say that word. Something that you've been able to like process and to integrate within self. And it has infused now completely. It's completely downloaded fully. You know, it was kind of like, I think with the reading I did a couple weeks ago with the eclipse, there was something that came up about like the integration or the downloading of it. But it feels like right now, and maybe like the next month or so, there's going to be like a finalization of it. I keep getting to where it's locked in. It's kind of like, this is, you are locked in with this person of you now. And it's bringing a sense of genuine, again, happiness and safety around your heart space, and safety around love too, and just like connections and experiences, which can bring you a lot of that. Okay. Let me actually go into these tea leaf cards here and see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to say for this message. I'm hearing you don't know what you have until it's gone, or you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. I'm not quite sure where they're going with that. For some of you with this compromise, there could be this, okay, so for the sense of like deep sadness I'm picking up on, this could be a few things. As I was mentioning, this may even be about somebody else too. I mean, I think that it's for both. Like, it's not just for the other person. It's, a lot of this is for you. Most of it is for you, but there could also be someone who's mirroring the same thing for some of you, not for everybody. But if that's the case, there could be somebody here who feels that way. Like there's a process here of deep sadness, which comes from realizing what we lost. And that goes for the self of what I already mentioned, like you, but also it can be that we realize that we lost people that are important to us. Maybe somebody has come to also realize that they lost somebody, maybe it could be you, that was very meaningful and important. And it puts things into perspective, I feel, for the collective here, for people to see that there's something about the heart opening experience and like cracking open of the heart, that maybe we were living again numbly or from the ego, and that caused a lot of damage and loss of genuine people and genuine connections. So for some, there is that general sense of realization that collectively is being had, that we may have lost things that at one point we, you know, that we lost what was good for us or something like that. Let me actually pull just a tarot here to see if there's anything more about that. Yeah, I'm hearing tunnel vision with the mind here. Somebody may have had tunnel vision and had dismissed or discounted, yeah, the 10 of Wands, who maybe you were to them. same goes for you. You may have also realized that. Like maybe for some of you, this is, again, I keep getting this very emotional experience. Maybe it's like you realizing as well where you have been selfish or where you may have been ungrateful or have, yeah, the Lovers. But I feel like this heaviness, and with this bird here, it almost looks like blood, or maybe it is probably blood. There's been such a heaviness I'm getting, but it's like both ends of both polarities here. Like we can experience the deep heaviness of it, but then on the other end of it is the deep sense of happiness that comes from liberation. So there's this sense of finally releasing that stab or the sticks from our back leg. And I think that somebody here close to you may have gone through this as well. So with the Lovers, this actually does feel like it's branching into a completely different message here. So I will probably do an extended for both, I think, for this reading. I will get a few cards for just generally what's going on for others of you who resonate with the first part, maybe this North Node. But I will go a little bit more into this because I think that this is branching into something different here about a deep love connection between two people, and possibly it seems like a union of some sort. And I think that actually came in the very beginning with the Page of Cups, but then it went into a different message. For some of you, this is a very high frequency connection that is somehow coming into union with the compromise. And I don't know further than that, the details of it. I'll have to go a little bit more into it. But let me actually just pull one card here. But it feels like that, like a feeling that maybe we couldn't experience the full potential of this connection because somebody here wasn't capable of it at that point because of these things that were holding us back. Let me quickly grab a love deck here just to see what comes up, and then I'll be back with the tea leaf cards. But yeah, with this metamorphosis and the wide open, I just heard Spirit say, saying everything I didn't say and doing everything I didn't do is what I just heard. And so again, that feels like it's something that is for both you and the people around you. Rebuilding. Yeah. So I already mentioned that too with like the storm reference. Being honest with one's feelings and aspirations for the connection, starting over better than ever. See, so yeah. I do feel like for a lot of you, there is going to be this compromise coming in, this rebuilding of a connection. And if that doesn't resonate with you, if this part doesn't resonate with you, it could be that this is you rebuilding yourself, but it feels like there's a love message with this, with the Lovers, that you kind of rebuilding yourself and being wide open here is you saying to the universe that I'm ready for a second chance at love. So whether that means you meeting a new person, that's up to you and your own journey. But it does feel like it's that overall sensation of like, again, there's such a feeling of the building has already crumbled, kind of. We've already been through the metamorphosis. There's a calmness now. There's a stillness. Before, the energy was definitely buzzing a lot, and it was hard to get clear kind of on the messages. I remember the other week. Now it feels very still, actually, and it feels like the storm has passed. And so now it's kind of a feeling to where everything has become more clear in perspective. But yeah, I think that there could be a rebuilding of a relationship here. What does the viewer need to know about love here? How would they know this love part of the reading is for them? And again, it's that feeling of like, I want to do what I didn't do before, or I want to be the person that I wasn't before. Okay, for everyone. Or I want to be better than I had been before to myself. And, you know, for example, it could be small things like getting back into the gym I was mentioning too, and kind of rebuilding from a level that is, yeah, a new beginning. Yeah, I'm hearing set aside your differences. So for some of you, there definitely is going to be a compromise coming in a connection. And it feels like two people who are ready to see eye to eye, two people who are ready to be on the same page, where before they maybe weren't because they hadn't been through this metamorphosis fully. And I'm getting this very vulnerable feeling too. Divine Feminine. Yeah, there's a very open-hearted feeling. For a lot of you, this is you. Okay, if you want to reverse it, that's fine. But for a lot of you, this Divine Feminine is you, the viewer. And so you may also be in this very open-hearted space within yourself to where it's very attractive and it's very... it's helping for connections to come into compromise. Maybe there was too much of a wound before to where you were operating from like sorrow and sadness about your past wounds, or you were not seeing the value of yourself as this divine feminine being, maybe not coming from a sense of love, more so coming from fear. And so this has been a wide open portal that's opened here for your love life because you've been able to access that kind of open-hearted, nurturing, healing presence within yourself. And I think that you're being seen in that light here with the Lovers as well. Okay, we have breaking barriers. Yeah. Realizing the truth with the understanding that you must push forward with the connection, removing obstacles. Is there anything else, Spirit, here about love that the viewer needs to know? Let me get this deck here. Is there anything else here about love that the viewer needs to know? Maybe somebody that's connected to them. Seven of Wands. Three of Wands, Queen of Wands, the Four of Wands. Okay, Spirit wants me to go in here to these tea leaf cards. They don't want me to narrow this down, so I'm just going to go with the flow here. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you want to say with the tea leaf cards, and maybe it'll come together? We have deep personal strength and peace that assure success. Yes, I mean, that feels like a pretty nice summary of everything that has come up here. It feels like that, like deep personal strength that assures success after these peaks and valleys here. Yeah, look, we have happiness. Yeah, see, I feel like there could be a reconciliation here, but we'll have to go into it a little bit more in the extended because it's a feeling of pushing, keep pushing forward, like I keep getting, or keep pushing ahead, because this happiness is, yeah, see, there's somebody thinking about you. Let me get these out first. We have new opportunities, possibilities, and paths are opening up. I'm hearing something like, can't you spill the beans? Can't we spill the beans? And there's something of like, hold off a little bit, or like, wait for a minute. So I don't know if they're saying like in this reading, or that's just kind of maybe where there's some, it's almost like there's a piece of information about that reconciliation and about that lover's compromise. but it's like it's being held off from being told at the moment, or maybe it's just like something that's, it's something that's like an anticipation, like the dog has his mouth open, he's about to bark, but he's not, he's still. There's something here like it's on the, it's brewing. We have somebody new is entering your life. I want to point out there could be something about Scorpio season, because we have here November, and we had the new moon in Scorpio earlier, and we have you will receive a gift. So for some of you that could be later in the year, could be around November. We had winter, I think, before. That's not quite winter, but maybe it could be, I don't know, something with November. Some of you actually are going to have a choice between two people. That's what's coming through. You may have a choice between two people. There could be a new person entering your life, but you also have somebody who's thinking of you from afar, which may not be a new person. And maybe in the month of November, you're going to be confronted with a decision here about your love life. Yeah, we have hard work ahead. And it's on top of the rebuilding. So it feels like there's a lot of hard work, but it's not necessarily like hard work as in you're pushing yourself. It's more of like, it's productive work ahead in both areas of career and also love. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend, or you and something that you want. That could be why it's feeling this way too with the Seven of Wands. For some of you, there's maybe a bit of resistance around an incoming reconciliation. This may be, you know, again, I'll have to go into it here in the extended because I don't know here just yet in this reading, but there could be something trying to come in between you and a love connection. Here we have the Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Yeah, so it's a very like wise, long journey, which is nearing the part of the journey where you can be genuinely happy. They're showing me somebody opening a gift and looking very surprised. So we did have that gift before too. There may be an actual gift that will be given to you, which will be very shocking to receive it. But it could also be the way Spirit's showing it, that you'll be very surprised at kind of a gift that's coming in. And again, it's like brewing. Yeah, an exciting event. Okay, let me just get one final card here, and then I will go into the extended. Is there anything else, Spirit, you can say that maybe you want to say here in this reading before we go to the extended, that the viewers need to know that I've missed about maybe what this is that you're speaking of here? Is there anything that can come through or needs to come through? The Sun. Yeah, so the Sun and the Six of Wands. And there's the Page of Cups with the Ten of Cups behind it. I'm hearing you're overthinking it. Okay, so Spirit could be saying, even to me as the reader, my guys are saying you're overthinking it. So there could even be something that's just quite, like when I was trying to explain about this person thinking of you or whatever it is. But this could be for you too. Like somehow don't overthink it here. There's just something... I almost feel like maybe some of you just need to go right now with like being happy. It's almost giving me the feeling of try not to question something, because how to explain it? Like the hard pushing is already over. So there could be a tendency to try too hard because of a past pattern of wherever you were trying too hard for something, or you were trying to push too much for something, or it's like you don't really have to push here anymore. It's quite simple and straightforward, actually, with the Page of Cups is what Spirit's saying. And it's giving me a feeling of like what's meant to be yours will always find you with the Sun. And what is meant to be yours is about to find you. So when something is meant to find us, it's finding us. We don't go look for it. It just finds us. So they almost want the viewer here to relax, to know that with this 10 of Cups, some vision that you've had with the Page of Cups and the Sun is about to find you, and there will be victory. So don't concern yourself with maybe the details as to with the wedge here or something in between, or maybe trying, like I was trying to pull some extra information about it. There's kind of a feeling of spirits not wanting somebody to be in that same mindset. Maybe that was an issue that you had before, or something to where you pushed too hard for something. I don't know. Something like that's coming up here. But there is definitely, for this reading, there's such a strong feeling of, I keep getting this such a warm sensation, especially when I'm looking at the sun. Like I'm actually feeling the warmth of the sun and how it feels to be in the very happy kind of warm, like a warm hug kind of sensation is what I'm getting with that. So let's go into the extended now to see what more information will come up. I'm going to start by looking at, in general, at just what's coming in, what you need to know. And then I'm going to go into love and just leave it open to see what's going on in love and go from there as to maybe what this is or who this is or what's coming in your love life. But I think I will leave it here for now. I hope this reading was helpful for whoever found this, whoever this is for. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. I'd appreciate it. And I will go over now to the extended, and I will talk to you all there or next time. Take care and lots of love.